Alright, today we're going to learn how to read standard notation, which is just another way to read music for guitar. First off, what is standard notation? Standard notation in guitar terms is what other music instruments just call notes. We call it standard notation because it's the standard for everyone else. Many books will even publish songs with both the notes and the tablature. So you can see this little example of Jingle Bells Dashing Through the Snow. The top has the note version and below has the tab. So it's the same notes, just two different ways to read it. Why do we need to bother then? Many students will ask why they need to learn another way to read music if they can already read tab. What do you think that answer would be? While there's a lot of music that is written in tab, there's far more music available that is not. By being able to read both, you will not be limiting yourself to what you'll be able to play in the future. Here's some important parts of the standard notation staff. You can see we have the time signature represented by the 4/4. We have the treble clef symbol on the left-hand side. Some more important parts of the staff, we have 5 lines and 4 spaces. Notice that there are only 5 lines now instead of the 6 from tablature. What do you think the lines represent now? Nothing. They are just lines on a piece of paper now. One of the things we need to understand is that standard notation and tablature are different. The lines do not carry over, or they're not similar from reading style. And that's the most important thing to learn today, that the lines are just lines. This also may look familiar to you. The E, G, B, D, F, Every Good Boy Does Fine, or Elvis Goes Boogieing Down Fremont. You may have already heard some of those terms. And then, of course, the spaces are labeled face. The previous slide is good for future reference, but we don't really need to know all of that right now. We just need to learn the notes as they relate to the first string. Here are the notes for the first string and their tab versions for comparison. So the last couple of weeks we've been playing the guitar tablature underneath, the open 1-3. All we're going to do is translate that into note form with the sheet music notation above. You can see the equivalents of what they would look like in the notation. So what that means, anytime we see a note placed on the top space, we are going to be asked to play the first string open. Even though this is a quarter note, it could also be a whole note or a half note. Anytime we see a note placed on the top line, we'll be asked to play the first string first fret. Once again, even though this is a quarter note, it could also be a whole or a half note. And finally, anytime we see a note placed on the top or above the top line, we will be asked to play the first string third fret. Once again, this is a quarter note, but it could also be represented with a whole or half note.